Hello guys, welcome to the best to do list application. Today we're going to do the CRUD operations on our to-dos. So we're going to do create, read, update and delete to-dos in this video. So in the previous video we created our migrations and the association. So if you've not watched that, I advise you to go and watch it, because we are not going to touch it in this video. Okay, we're not going to touch migration or association. So let's get started. So let's start by creating a controller. Let's call it to-do controller. To-do have const to-do is equal to, let's make it an object. Takes our first method, our first controller should be the create to-do controller, request, response, and next. And let's start to create our to-do. So to create our to-do, we're going to do const. Let's get the title our to-do. Okay, the only attributes is the title and the user ID. These other ones have been created by Postgres automatically. So we'll have get our title from the request. Let's just destructure our request body here, body, and decode it. So here we have equals to body, and also const user ID. We need the user who is going to create the to-do. So now to create, we have const to-do equal to await to-do dot create. Now let's import our model. So we import the model title, user ID, status. So that is it. Now this this is supposed to come from the decoded. Okay, the decoded, we will have to, we're expecting the signed in user to be in the decoded variable in the request, the decoded property in our request object. So let's go and create a middleware to assign the currently logged in user in this decoded property of the request object. So let's create a middleware, call it authorize JS, and that middleware is going to export default a function. Now check if the request headers authorization, if the authorization header is undefined, it means the user didn't log in. It means the user didn't provide a token. So in case the user provided a token, we retrieve that token. So normally we expect the authorization header to be something like this. We have a bearer, then our token, which is something like that. So this is how the authorization is. The authorization header is, it has a bearer and a token. So now we have splitted this string into an array of 2 values by this space here. So we are now getting, it will now be an array of this form. So we are now getting the first, which is at index 1. We are getting the token, which is at index 1, and storing it in this tokens variable. So now that we have the token, we're going to do, let's import our JWT. also import the user model. Now let's first of all import our, let's configure our .env first. Now import user model. Now we have okay, so we have gwt.verify with the text in the token as the first argument and our secret. But remember, we see it as secret in .env as gwt secret, so let's just copy that and paste here. And also we need to also remember that we created our token using this expiry of 24 hours, so we need to use that same expiry, the time of expiry. So then the next argument is the callback function. Now this callback function takes in an error and the decoded token. Now we're going to do, first thing we have to check if there is an error. In case there is an error, just return a response with status 40441 with the error. Let's make it bold like that. So after that is done, now set our decoded in the request body in the request object. Sorry, decoded. Now we'll have find a user with the ID of decoded user ID. If that user is found, so we'll check if there is no user. If there is no user, return does not exist. So in case the user is not found, just move on to the next middleware. So we are done here. Let's move back to this man. Let's export the to-dos. Now post to-dos. We have to-dos. Create to-do. So we've imported and create. Now the next middleware is going to be to fetch all the to-dos and also fetching a single to-do. Let's just add the endpoint at once. Get API to-dos. Then we have to-dos fetch all. You know what? Let's just call this create instead of create to do fetch all. App.get. Now this is to fetch a single to do. Do slash to do ID to do slash fetch one. So let's go on. add the controllers. This is supposed to be create. So we have async fetch or try catch. So we have just duplicate this, fetch one, because we're going to do pretty much the same thing here. So to fetch all, we have plans. So we don't even need this. So we have just return it. My to-dos. So we are finding. So what if the user has no to-do? So we have to say check if. Well, it's okay if there is no to-do. We just return an empty array. So it's okay like that. So same thing here. We have const a to-do one is equal to wait to do dot find one, where now we don't need, we need the param, not the body. Find one where id is params to do id. Then if now we can check if there is that to do is not found, just return for else return status. Well, I think this should be 4. It's still almost the same thing. You can still write 400 there. Status of 200. Send my to do. So this is it. We also need to, we are fetching it to the where the user ID. Just decode it. So that's just what we are doing here. So this is all. Let's now go to updating our to do. Async update. We have try. Just copy that, and to update we expect something to come from the request body, and also expect the user to be logged in. So to update, we also expect to receive the to-do ID from the params. And that's it. So now, to update, we first of all start by finding the to do. So we have to do equals to wait to do that find by id by pd. We have param that to do ID. So I'm finding the to do with the ID from the param. Then I'll check if that to do is not defined. It means the ID is wrong. return response data wrong ID, wrong to do ID. So in case that to do is defined, we will now do our update const updated to do is equal to await, or if the title is not supplied, if the user didn't supply the title at the bottom, just take the to do title, just take the one that is there. In case the title is not supplied, just take the one that is present. So we're now going to return our updated to do. And that's it. Oh, here we're supposed to. Now a user should only update his or her to do, not any kind of to do. So this is supposed to be find one with a where ID is the to do ID from the params, and user ID is the decoded, is the logged in user's ID. So it is finding where the ID from the param, and user ID is that of the logged in user. So next, let's let's first of all go and add the routes again. We have app.put for updating, PR to do's dot update. Now I'm expecting all the users, every user using these endpoints are supposed to be logged in. So I need to use the authorized middleware here. Import it from there. So just copy and paste. So every user using the endpoint is supposed to be logged in. So if you're not logged in, you won't be able to use this endpoint. So let's go back. This error is coming from this controller file. So what is this here? There is an error here. Okay, I need another. Okay. Sync delete. So to delete, we first of all check if it exists. So let's just copy this. It's the same check we're doing here. So find where this and that. If the to do is not found, it's the wrong ID. So this could be user ID or to do ID. But if it is found, we're going to do and return a response. Status of 200. Send yeah, we just send an empty object like that. It's okay. So that's it. Just copy this, paste it down, delete. So we've been able to create the CRUD, do the CRUD operations. Let's test all the endpoints now. Let's first of all sign in our user. Let's start our server. Okay, Now let's sign. Let's try to sign in. Okay, we're able to sign in our user. Yep. Now let's create this. We have API / to-dos. Our post. Set our token. Prepare our token. That is it. Now let's go passing a body in our request. We have the title. Now we've done that. Let's run it. Say user does not exist. What's the meaning of that? Running on port 500. This is port 500. So we have that. User does not exist. Let's see. Let's check here. This is where the error is coming from. Let's console log decode it here. Now let's run it again. Okay, we have an ID and not the user ID. Let's go and fix that. It's supposed to be user ID and not ID. So this is going to work now. Why am I still saying that? Okay, so we need to reach the sign in back. So we were able to create our to-do. So this is it. This endpoint works. Now let's get the to-do. Let's create 2 of them. New my house. So we've created another one. Now let's fetch all of them. So we are able to fetch all of them. So, but I think we should be fetching. The fetching should include our to-do items. So let's fetch and include the to-do items. So it is going to be include model to-do item. Let's go as to-do items. Good. Now, because there are no to-do items, so we can't see any to-do item for now. Let's do the same thing with fetching one to-do. So now fetching one to-do. Let's fetch this first to-do here. And that is it. It has its to-do item too. It also has its to-do item. So they are empty for now because we've not created any to-do item yet. We've not created any to-do item, so it is supposed to be empty. Now let's do our update. Let's update the first to do. Supposed to be a bot, and when we run it, now we say middleware attributing the option parameter. So that means our update has a problem. It's at the where attribute here, where ID is to do the ID. Let's go into it again. Where were we? It's returning 1. It worked, but it's returning 1. Why is it like that? Let's see. Return true, name true. So let's do it again. Now this is our to-do item, so it's supposed to return just 1. The first one. Again. Good, so it's returning the updated to-do. Now let's go and delete this particular to-do. Let's delete. So I'm excited to see this. Let's find it. With error 404 not found. Let's see. Okay, delete. Now let's do that. Okay, that's deleted. Now let's try to fetch it. To do not found. So let's fetch all of our to-dos. Only one is found. So this is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Okay, please subscribe, like and share, and please make sure you watch the other videos too.